Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, winter, Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics.
What up? What up? It's Wednesday. Saw that on PPI just came out. Maybe it is a good idea to do shows closer to 8:30, so those 8:30 numbers don't sneak up in the middle of the show and change a lot of my pre-market preps. Yeah, hats off to Director Vale for pulling this gem out of the closet here for this fucking show. I love this. Thought this was pretty fire. So yeah, I think the set looks fucking flame today. What's good in the hood? You guys doing alright? I see 74 here, 8:30. I'd say that's Skeleton Crew vibes. PPI just dump barred the futures pre-market. So we're going to take a look at that. There's definitely some shit moving in currency. If you guys paid attention to the last show where we talked about the yens in North America, you saw some of that take off. The VIX is definitely looking fucking scary. And he's staging, a little small shockwave underneath that 35, which is no bueno. We need to take a look at that again. What up, Jingle Jam? I'm pretty good. How you doing? I found my live resin pen. I'm a happy motherfucker. Keep losing this thing. Fucking so goddamn small. Yeah, I'm an E-pen sucking pleb. Looks like it for right now. Speaking of marijuana, should probably take a look at marijuana stocks with Biden about to fucking at least do some kind of action, on federal level crimes. There was a bump in marijuana stocks. Maybe we pull those up and take a peek, see if those guys are doing anything, because boy, that's been a fucking death trap for a while. Everybody in the planet smokes weed and the marijuana goes straight to the floor. Who'd have thunk it, right? But those are sentiment things. So probably take a look at that also. I didn't get in all your symbols last time. I'll do my best to get them all in also and get us out of here in a meaningful amount of time. So I see a lot of folks on here are acolytes, and appreciate all of you guys joining the community, seeing what we had to offer beyond what you see in the show. I think for many of you guys, like I said, you're in a place now that if you'd be hard pressed to be told anything about how the market works ever again by anybody. Yeah, I thought it was a sick kitty. Look good on this thing. But yeah, I've seen some amazing performance from new and older folks in the room, and I think it's a really good vibe to put us back together the way Trading Lounge originally started, where we get to rehash logic, never-endingly as we train in the new people, and that really gives you a level of mental clarity about what you're doing that you really can't sustain any other way. Even for myself, like I told you guys. Oh yeah, I forgot that Dow Jones 100-year update. That's a good idea. I'll get that loaded too. I can get the VIX Mageddon chart and the Dow 100. I could do that. Yeah, but the way we have it now, organizing Trading Lounge, it keeps you in a constant repetition of logic and concepts that you yourself wouldn't naturally sustain, and for the veterans who may be watching this, like, the drift is real for everybody, right? Your mental clarity and what is a constant effort to maintain. And as you get older and you get more information and more experiences, you actually have a fantastic amount of information you'll start to forget, and you don't realize it. To maintain mastery of a thing, you really need to stay at a level of performance and repetition that most people don't do. You think about an old sensei training like a 15-year-old kid how to do karate. It's not that the sensei doesn't know how to fucking throw a kick, but by teaching that kid who doesn't know anything, he attains mastery of his skill. And because he gets those subtle nuances, he forgets are so important as he realizes the kid doesn't know any of them. And that's kind of the same thing I do. While I sit there and I regurgitate concepts with you guys, I mean, it's no bullshit. I've forgotten more things in market information than you guys will probably ever learn. And I still have enough to fucking blow your minds for the next decade if you listen to what I can show you. But if I don't constantly talk to people who don't know the things that I don't know, I won't remember those little nuances either. And I can definitely tell my accuracy with the show and my analysis is fucking off the meter as I have people to share these informations I've gained and experiences I've gained. So I do appreciate everybody that works in the symbiotic system that is Trading Lounge. It is something that we all benefit from, and it allows me to be more accurate on the show and more accurate with you in live calls. And I think we built something pretty badass in the middle of a horrific market environment, and I think it's the right evolution, adaptation to what the environment has given us, to be a retail cabal that can actually navigate a 30 VIX environment. Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead type shit. USD JPY call was fire. Good shit. Glad you fucking pay attention to that. Yeah, some currency stuff's going crazy, huh? So the Bank of England came out and said some shit. Let me show you this. And then they fucking dialed it back because they knew it was retarded. So we do want to pay attention to this. This is a little unknown detail we hadn't come across in the show. Let me see, I retweeted it. Where did you go? Yeah, this. Check it out. So this is crazy, right? Bank of England is ending QE this week. You see an instant dump bar in the pound and everything like that. But, you know, most of us don't think about this. You remember, central banks have all kinds of fancy terms to make sure you never know what anyone's talking about. And QE is one of those, right? Quantitative easing is kind of a way to saying they put a bid under the market. They're going to fucking buy bonds and inject capital into the system in order to basically, safeguard it from a fucking full-scale, crash. Dollar yen rises above 146 for the first time since August 1998. So 1998, you guys know that's the fucking Asian contagion. That's a currency crisis over in Asia. Is the last time that happened. That's one of the major VIX events too on the chart before you get 9/11. So that's worth paying attention to. That time period is interesting. That it's in the same place as 1998 because of what was going on in 1998. The Bank of England doing quantitative easing means that they're trying to put a bid under the British system to basically create liquidity because they're having a liquidity crisis, like what the Fed is saying. The Fed is helping cause this. And if the Bank of England is currently running QE and this is the best that we've got from it, that's a scary thing. So this is the FTSE, the British stock market, right? And he's weak as shit. The GBP, USD. He's also weak. We've been paying attention to him, right? He did his pump from here. Now he's rotated this angle. And this guy is in a scary place. And the Bank of England is apparently trying to support the market. And it still looks like shit because they're trying to support in the face of like a global, liquidation. So when they come out and say that, okay, our best efforts have really not done anything, which is not what they're saying, but that's what's happened, and we're going to pull that out of the market, that'd be a big fucking negative, right? This right here is insane to say that. You got 3 days left. Think about this statement. Most people let that slide right past you. What is he fucking saying? I'm about to pull my bid, so figure out how to fucking hedge your shit or you're going to get fucking annihilated. They're literally telling you they're the market. And when we pull the bid floor out, big market maker steps out of the way, we can fall, right? That's how you fucking collapse a bid, you pull it. These motherfuckers are actually saying that directly. Anyways, that's really not fucking intelligent. So they rolled it back. But like I said, this is something, you see that statement, like, Jesus fucking Christ. What did you say to the fucking pension fund managers? That's insane. So they dialed that back a little bit ago. Where did it go? I think they just posted that they're going to actually stay longer. I thought I retweeted that. But they stated they're going to actually stay now that they did that, freak the fucking market out. They dialed that back. So now you don't have like an exact end date. But that was huge. If they were going to fucking disappear this week, you want to fucking know that shit. Shout out to Mal. Appreciate the bit, sir. So Galaxy Surfer. Now there's another post. Let me see if we can find it real quick while I'm on here. They said they rolled it back, like this morning. Where did he put it? Right here. So after they scared the shit out of everybody, then they do this. Because, yeah, that's like, the fact is no one recognized the Bank of England support in the marketplace. But actually seeing them say that kind of makes some sense, right? Like in this like recent period, like from like, where the VIX rotated here, we're heading towards like, mega danger. This is our trigger we talked about. This is bad. So we've got an angle against our trigger at 3509. We get to here, this is probably big liquidation on a lot of shit, like, real haul ass type stuff. But while we've been grinding from like, Friday, let's go to like a 1 hour. You look at this on Friday, and then you look at the SPY. Right, this is Friday over here. Where's Friday? Friday's here. We really haven't dropped like you'd think with the VIX arcing out like this. And this is Friday right here. So the S&P hasn't really done, a move like that is enough to put the S&P through the floor. And it hasn't really gone down like that. And I think you are actually seeing the effects of these guys creating some amount of bid support to risk assets, trying to support their side of the water. And that's crazy. Like they're telling, what I just showed you, they're telling fund managers, you have 3 days. Well, what can a fund manager do in 3 fucking days? He can buy insurance against his fucking risk assets is what he can do. And so if there's a bid support in risk assets and you're buying insurance, the VIX would be rising more than the S&P would be dropping. That's exactly what you're seeing now with those assholes saying that. So someone is buying insurance. If you can move the VIX and the market's not moving, you have institutional money going into this. This is not retail. So someone is buying big insurance for something horrific, right? Now we're talking about 1998 levels on USD JPY. That's also no bueno, right? Let's look back at what that thing's at. That's the currency crisis. So we're going back here, and then we can look at the VIX, 1998, right? That's this. It's a currency crisis, a massive VIX spike, and you're staging a crazy structure in the VIX right now, at low res. So there's a couple things that you're looking at, what the bank is saying, and that they're even in the market. The Fed is not giving them support. The Fed is not working with anybody. They're kind of like on the whole liquidate the market type, we must crush inflation shit. So right at this point, the Fed is kind of like, crushing the entire market while Bank of Japan tries to figure out how to stabilize their shit. England can't stabilize their shit, right? This is an inflection point as we get towards where this angle intersects with our trigger. So we do want to keep eyes on this. If, the Bank of England is going to stay in the market for a certain period longer, they're not stopping it anyway. At some point, they likely will stop based on the way they sound. And then you have a fucking problem. So I think watching this VIX, pump to this level is pretty dangerous to see, given what they're saying on the Bank of England and what risk assets are doing. All right, that's like a lot to open the show. Could have gone in the macro section, I guess. Anyways, don't sit by and fucking let the banks fucking dictate your future, right? You better fucking take your life into your own hands. Those would be the emojis on the show. You get it? So, dictate your own fate. Right now, the Fed and the central banks are about to dictate a lot of people's fate that aren't paying attention to what the fuck they're doing as they tinker around with everything in front of our faces. All right, so take a breather on that. You motherfuckers wrote me any war stories? Let's see. I've ever had some war stories. I got one 15 minutes ago. Wow, you posted that while the show was going live. You slacker. Alright, what do we got? Living life in the fast lane, time to slow it down. This is Dump Big Crumpet. Okay. 1.1 R USD JPY minus 1.4 R US 500. Alright, I've been way too zoomed in after a couple weeks of trading the seconds charts and having some luck with my trades in the live calls. Zooming out this week and taking my time slowing things down will be the deal. Funny thing I just noticed, the 1 minute chart used to feel super fast, like I was trading on ultra low resolutions of time. Now it's slow as fuck. So this is what he did. I think this is the one S&P got. Did you stay in that one? I thought we went over this yesterday. Oh, here we go. Okay, I get it. So this is good. We kind of looked at this one, and we reviewed this one in call yesterday. And this one was a mistake where he didn't have a stop in, and he ran away from him. And then this kind of mistake is this is a good thing to look at historically, right? Because it's one thing. This is happening in a place that I guess it's not graphing on here. But in this mistake, not placing a stop and getting a massive loss, the emotions that come out of this will feed into the next choice you make and make you chase down trying to make back this mistake. The reasons you're taking this trade then aren't the reasons you took this trade, right? You had a plan based on a location. You tried to sell a breakdown. It recoiled and caught you without a stop in place. Now the next trade is to make up this trade. It isn't the same plan. And that can taint your work, when you start to chase revenge trade. So it's a good idea to back up from a mistake if you do something like what caused this one, and not take an instant trade right behind it, because your mind's not in the same place it was when you planned this one out. That can get you into like a series of quick trades that can get you into trouble. So just, a word of caution. This one is your winner. What is going on here? I don't get what the number 4 is. But it looks like you caught that. That's pretty insane. So nice work. Oh, you tried this one, got stopped. Tried this one, got stopped, and then you got this. Okay, and you netted out 1. Gotcha. All right. Not terrible. You survived this craziness. It was a little crazy on the leave out, but good play, man. So good reflection. Keep posting on here. From yesterday's discussion of Kaz and voice channel, I had not zoomed out far enough to appreciate the bull flag properly. Playing the first break from another bull flag. I was especially interested in taking a position after the stop run that would have taken out a lot of positions. To make this position safer, I created a big stop to allow tests that occur later on, but it helps in not solidifying my earlier losses. I could have let it run, but really wanted to finish with a win and move on. Well, I could have let it run, but really wanted to finish with a win is a conflicting statement, right? A play is a play is a play, and let your plan play out. So you finish with a win that could have been a bigger win. So you wanted to finish with a win. That's a statement on its own, right? Deciding to make that finish be in the moment you thought of it is something different. So, remember, your risk is the cost of opportunity. Let it happen. Allow yourself to be right, when you're right. You get enough. When you lose, you're going to lose all of what you risk. Allow yourself to make what's possible, So, but good stuff anyways. Good reflections on this and recovering from this. All right, let's see what we got here. On night for time, 8:50. I'm actually not doing bad at time, all things considered. So it's Wednesday. Do we have any kind of crazy ass fucking Fed speakers or anything like that we got to pay attention to that I forgot about? Let me look real quick. What do we got today? Nothing else. Okay. Yeah, meeting minutes. I knew there was something. So this is easily as jarring also as the Fed making like a rate announcement. They say something crazy in there that's more hawkish than people realize. PPI just came out like shit. That's also fucking not a good thing. So right now, if you guys saw what happened on the overnight futures market, that's a dump move from PPI, and now you've got the Fed. That's futures of the Nasdaq and the S&P. So they took a fat shit on the PPI just now. If the Fed comes out and says something crazy in those minutes that leans towards a scarier rate cycle picture going forward into 2023, you could see more pressure on the market. So like nothing coming out of the Fed has been bullish at all. And now that you've got this right here, and they're telling you that they're fighting inflation that people feel like they don't see, while Kathy Woods is writing open fucking letters to fucking bullshit, did you guys see that shit? It's actually quite unbelievable, right? Rather than stopping out and saying she's wrong, Kathy Woods is going to write a letter to the Fed and be like, please fucking adjust interest rates to save my fucking garbage ass fucking fund. The craziest shit you'll ever see in your fucking life. But it is a fucking, where you're at. Yeah, if you guys didn't see it, Kathy Woods wrote an open letter to the Fed to save their asses. So while the Fed this is the kind of idiot we told you needed to be knocked out of the market. Remember we said this? That people like Kathy Woods, these charlatans, this is the kind of thing they're getting out. The trash of the market, they're stopping it all out. If you save this moron, like the Fed will achieve nothing, right? She's definitely an excess in the system. She's something that was allowed to survive because she was in a bull market. She's what has to get out to really bottom the market. And we told you that this is a specific fund to watch. The fact that she's begging is literally fucking one of the scariest things on the fucking planet. And that's exactly the anger phase you guys all know. like unbelievably, Kathy Woods has become the fucking meme. So, holy fuck. So this is likely not done, and the Fed is likely staying with their, pressing on the marketplace, pressing on risk assets. So that being said, we want to pay attention to where we're at in the cycle right now and where that kind of creature gets stopped out of the marketplace. So the Fed is monitoring liquidity. There is a liquidity crisis. The Bank of England is fighting it. And you've got shitbags like Kathy that need to get bought and bricked out of the market, right? That kind of class of trader needs to be out of the market. So you're in a precarious position with the VIX where he's at. That's what that all, lends to. All right. Where did I get into? All right, so macro things. Everybody get all that? She's literally on the crash cycle chart. Like, it's actually unbelievable. Her fund is a fucking joke. Where do we have that? Guys, remember I told you this? Literally the anger phase. So I would imagine we're here going through the base right now with her writing that letter to save her ass, and we need depression, right? Depression is where the PFP should come down. A lot of people that fucking still haven't been knocked out of like riskiest assets don't want to ever see them again. And people don't ever want to see this bitch again. All right, so we're not really there yet. Kathy's just another Kramer joke. Kathy's on another level than Kramer. Kramer's smarter than he appears. It's deceptive, and people think that Kramer's just dumb money. Kramer's not dumb money. Kramer makes a market out of the general public. Kathy's actually just retarded, not Jim Kramer. And that's why he can take, all the fucking shit he gets, the way he takes it. He knows what he's doing. You have no idea what that man's doing to television. All right, so let's go check out fucking our macro things and then get you guys out of here. So where are we right now? We're onto this floor we had from the summer low. And, that's scary, right? We don't have a bounce right now. We sit here. This, you definitely have to pay attention to, right? If we just looked at this, right, and we said this low bounce, Kathy's writing letters here, then that would be the bear flag of summer, right? From June. And now Kathy wrote a letter back in the same location, then you're like, this is the wave of summer, right? Sorry, not summer. This entire thing is the bear flag of summer, and Kathy's writing letters here at the base. Bad sentiment read. So we pay attention to this thing under here, and the Qs also, because she's tech heavy, right? Es no bueno. Okay, I don't know what the hell is going on there. So that downtrend is still intact, and as long as you're in this floor, doesn't take a rocket science to read that. Shit looks scary. The only things that we have that give us a reason to pause is seeing levels like this from major lows. And that's it. You're waiting for that to fall through. And this is pretty much just a box range to pay attention to between this low here and this major low here. So market's not healthy, to say the least. DXY things, pretty bullish. We talked about this guy. He rotated up, tested his old system. He's rotated here, and you want to pay attention to what he's doing now. USD is showing strength in some interesting places. We talked about paying attention to USD JPY. These guys are, stronger. AUD, USD. USD is like smoking a bunch of currencies right now. And the GBP is getting intervention, from England, which is allowing you to have plays like this, GBP, AUD, and things against AUD that we talked about are likely getting smoked to save the pound. We're seeing pound strength against, British territories. So, AUD, NZD, these guys remain weak as fuck against a lot of things. GP, NZD. All right, a lot of these guys, NZD is just garbage everywhere. MXN, we talked about this guy if you're watching him, right? Most people aren't watching him, but North America is strong. And it's not way many people think about currencies, but you should think about currencies regionally, as banking moves around the world, 24 hours a day. The differentials between regions actually creates a basketing effect like you see here. So this is actually an interesting way to actually think about currencies, whether you're thinking about like, Euro, Europe versus North America or whatever. Well, North America is killing everybody. MXN, go right this way. It's a bull market, North America currencies. So definitely keep those on your radar. So we talked about VIX, crypto things. So this VIX buildup, you're watching, definitely, if it's going to fucking bar out, that's the trigger level for that VIX event over here in crypto. And so we want to watch this as like, BTC meanders out of this little bear flag we told you to watch that looks like LTC. And ETH is kind of stabilized until he isn't, So he's leaning down also. And so a lot of stuff, maybe we all ourselves, stare at this chart too much every day, and it feels very like normal to look at that thing in a position like that, but it seems insanely obvious to look at as a fucking very obvious short that every idiot that could read a chart could see at this point, right? But until it proves itself differently, I think a lot of people just aren't even in the marketplace to participate on the downside at all. Izzy says 21 days till the next FOMC, which is November 2nd. Yeah, so all we got to go on right now is this Fed minutes today. All right, so ETH, like I said, this guy, BTC, they should all hit key levels at the same time. BTC is going to bar down out of that thing. This thing's probably going to take out the base trigger here, and he's going to be in this whole region. And it's a bit messy if he actually managed to really fully break into this. So, like I said, that major level we looked at in the Qs, BTC where he is right now, VIX where he is right now, like there's so many things that are like stacked against a major level, like a moron can see this. So it could be whipsawing it to go through it, or fucking like stop people in and then do it. But right now things don't look good. Like it looks like institutions are preparing for a major de-risking. So that's the line in the sand we've got everywhere. So that's crypto. What was the other one? Oh yeah, UST.D. Can you just pull this up? Right, we have this guy, and see, every fucking thing is sitting in a hell of a spot. So patience is a virtue, guys. This is the USD. We can treat him as like, our de-risking index. I don't know why I just do that and not just use this. But he's been stable, right, for a hot minute. So you witness congestion build, but it is a bull flag, right? This is bullish as fuck, and he's like, knocking against heaven's door. So if this guy bars out of here, it's going to send BTC and everything we just looked at off a fucking cliff. So you definitely want to pay attention to that. Total. We haven't put total on here in a while. Total. So whenever we last looked at total, so if you didn't get back through this level, which is a trigger down, this would be bad, right? So total under here is already like in a place that we consider like, all eyes on a potential short to crypto assets. So yeah, this is our trigger under here, and he's been sitting under here since June. So he's never recovered really from the summer lows. He had a bear flag right off of that and rolled under. This is definitely an ugly situation for him at this moment. So it's like, doesn't it feel like this should be something that every idiot can see? Is it just me? Do we just go over this so much it's familiar? But I feel like this is like retardedly obvious, don't you guys? I don't know. I feel like we're all clued in pretty good. Whew. Damn. CPI pre-market tomorrow. True that. Most people aren't watching anymore. Now, definitely a lot of people have checked out. And the markets are so hard to trade intraday. A lot of people have gone to sleep. Oh yeah, it's 9:02. So let me get too far. I gotta load that chart to find the Dow 100. One sec. Dow 100. And let me get VIX Mageddon. Get all the goodies out. Load VIX Mageddon. Who's that chart scary? What's not fitting here? All right, there we go. Uno momento. All right, got that guy. Got that guy. All right, got everything. Crossman said yesterday a person told them they're putting 1,000 euros of their money into the markets. That doesn't really give me much sentiments, but sounds good for him. Sands, China, oh, every month. All right, so he's dollar cost averaging to the market. That's more interesting, right? And that's kind of what a lot of people are advocating. I saw Gerber said this is like the worst performance for the 60-40 portfolio in like history, and so he thinks it's an opportunity of a lifetime. And people are willing to kind of like constantly cheerlead these things, step in front of the train. But one thing you don't do is you don't bet against the Fed. We've definitely talked about that, right? The Fed is the market, and when the Fed cycle is against fucking risk assets, you just wait. The Fed is the pump. They're the only thing that matters. You look at where PPT is. The market really doesn't do shit without them. And as I've said many times before, the market doesn't operate in spite of the Fed. The Fed is the fucking market, and that's a very massive distinction. When you see Cathie Woods petitioning the Fed to not do X, Y, Z, the Fed is fucking regulating fucking the labor pool. They are where fucking future employment comes from by fucking putting your asses in the fucking street. So you need fucking work so they can hire your ass to fucking lift this box and throw it in the back of a UPS truck. Right? If they don't fucking get everybody out of the fucking house, you don't have an economy. So people like Cathie Woods, they don't understand central banking. They understand that they regulate all of fucking what allows the economy to function. And yes, they do make tons of us massively jobless and fucking don't do what we wish, because people won't fucking, if left to their own devices, won't fucking do economics. They do have to manipulate the market to allow the market to function the way that we understand it functions in front of us today, whether we understand the mechanics in the background or not. And through doing that across 100 years, they engineered this. They know what the fuck they're doing. This is the pump of all fucking times. And when you look up close, you see the Fed doing crazy shit and everyone's screaming, oh my God, why are you doing X or why are you doing Z? Because they know how to fucking generate this, and that's why they don't take direction from Congress or anybody else. Right? Politicians don't understand fucking, collateralized debt obligations or fucking, fractional reserve banking. That's just not their fucking department. Nor does anybody apparently in fucking Wall Street that runs funds. But so when we look at this guy, can zoom in here. All right, this was this zone here. Back here we'd called an icebox range. It was like a fractal location that I'd seen back here at number 2 and here at number 1. And if you kind of look at the structure of the wave, right, on the way out of the first area here back in the Great Depression, and you leave your high, you get like a box range breakout of your main consolidation, and then you print out, you get one of the icebox ranges, you get a test on that range, and then you pump to your final pump out. You can see that also here. Here at number 2, get tested, and then you go into your main final blowout of the internet bubble. And now here we pumped out and we're actually testing them again. So the bottoming of this VIX cycle should occur somewhere within range of icebox 3. So fractal iceboxes, right? So it's actually well within structure. When you zoom out this level, right, it's like, oh, this doesn't look half as bad as it is. But when you're fucking, on the 5-second chart, it looks like Armageddon every fucking 10 minutes, right? So perspective matters. So we're actually not in a terrible place, right? So we're kind of waiting to see where this bottoms. In general, he tests the ice boxes. So, this whole fucking situation is like Black Monday. And, let's think about that. These retests, I don't know what the news is for this. Breakout, and you get the retest here. It's pretty big. There's a pretty big down wave in fucking in 1957 that sends you back into this range. This is Black Monday over here, and whatever's sending us back here looks like Armageddon. So a VIX spike in alignment with something like a Black Monday type shit, that blows through that 35 and spikes it out and slams us through this range. That seems very possible where we see everything stacked right now, right? So I guess this is the range we watch. If we see anything, if we see the Dow Jones go anywhere near this 23, like what is that? 23,374 by like 27,156. Let's go over here and look at that a little less retarded. So what did I just say? Where was that level again? Let's see. That's over in 2018. Yeah, it's this range, right? That's the catch. That thing's going to hold the fractal formations it's got in icebox 1 and 2. Then the market's a catch down here. Gimme. Okay, gotta make a better color for this. Let's see. And what's on this chart anyway? What did I draw on this thing? We're not doing orange. Well, orange always is a terrible thing, so let's make it orange. Because orange is a terrible color. So there you go. Alright, let's zoom out. What the hell is this chart? Oh, this is my eggplant chart. Remember this thing? We did this some long ass time ago. This is a logarithmic chart. Yeah. So eggplant TA. You guys remember that? So this is cool. We did this on whatever the fuck. I don't remember what show that was. But so eggplant 1, eggplant 2. We're in eggplant 3. We're looking at the waves within waves, right? So there's wave 1, wave 2, and you're in a corrective structure to go test this. When you zoom out, right, this chart doesn't look so horrible when you're backed up like that. So we like to have a trend structure into this range. This is, thick volume. We talk about when you look like Meta, right? This is the kind of range we want to see. Meta is in like a version of his shit. The Dow Jones is heading for like that exact same thing. This is likely the spot where the market will bottom. If you end up in here in high velocity, I would be willing to bet that this is a fucking buy of the century spot, and there should be a lot of destruction to get into this range. So let's see, what else can I look at in this range? SPY. So that puts them all down there. So if we do the fractal icebox range, oof, for the S&P to get there, boy, that'd be brutal. But that would be the spot. So we'll leave that on there. We'll leave these on here from our Dow 100. Thanks for bringing up looking at Dow 100. I think it's a cool ass idea. And this is a good location. If we do this into like 2023, I think the market has its best chance of going to a real bull status again, probably in mid-2024. I think that's when you can fucking, if we last to that point, I think fucking everybody's dust. And at that point, no one can buy fucking shit. So on the macro projection, this big wedge can rotate probably down to some shit like that. And I wouldn't be fucking out of the picture, right? So I think that's actually not a bad fucking macro projection. We'll leave that out there. Let's see what the key version of that is. Yeesh. Is that this shit? Jesus. Well, tech's getting it in the fucking face to pull that trick off. But we'll leave these out there and see, on our low end. Boink. Alright, I like that. So that's like ultra macro. It's 9/11. That's never good. Alright, 10 minutes. What do we got? Wake up. Oh. What? What the fuck? Anyways, what are we doing? So the macro thing, SPY. Is there a gap chart? Yeah. So all eyes under here, right? If we're going to have any kind of short squeeze and like near term bounce, this is your line in the sand to come back through summer lows. We stay under here, all hands on deck. So yeah, I think that covers our macro things. Oh wait, and the VIX Mageddon chart, I didn't pull him out. So VIX Mageddon things, right? We're watching this. So our current level of concern is pretty much retarded to almost paying attention to the situation at hand. So most people don't realize the imminent danger at this current level of the dildo scale. We're watching the trajectory here that we said is the scary part, right? Because we see all the versions of these inclinations before, and this is the biggest one. So whatever the fuck this is leading to, this was the test of the angle. And just a wick, when you look back in hindsight, coronavirus was a test pump. Whatever the fuck this is, could be a fucking tactical nuke. So what do we put on this? PPT intervention would be necessary up here. And above this level, Armageddon begins. That sounds like a tactical nuke to me. So, I don't know. Do we add that? Let's see. Just for shits and giggles. I gotta do it. I know. It's like, don't put that on the fucking chart, Kaz. You know how your show be. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. Let's hope not. But anyways, seems legit. So, fix Mageddon things. Right? We know what structure is. This is your key zone here. 37 to 44. You're going to pay attention to that zone if we get in there. That's bad. Nothing good happens once you're north of 37. Alright, that's everything. How you guys feeling? Scared to death? It's on the chart now, so oh man. Well, we'll see what happens, huh? Can you draw a squiggle all the way to VIX 0? I could. But that wouldn't be entertaining. Alright, so I'll squeeze in some symbols. What do you got? Sands, China. Sands, China, tan. Alright. What is Sands? What did you say? Sands, China. This is what I got. Is this the right shit? Sands, China? I hope that's it. I'll come back to that. Tell me if that's it. I don't know what the hell that is. Tan and Dow 100 year. We did that Dow 100 year. Tan. This is tan right now. So macro tan. Remember, we're looking at him big time frame. It's the kind of resolution we're watching. So if you think about what we said, right? If risk assets could go bottom where we just said and actually fell that far, 10 is like a ways off his summer low. He's like relatively stronger than the stock market. He could easily come down and make a new low and pretty much bottom on top of this system with a dump that big and be structurally fine at this resolution for this wave. So I think that's kind of worth noting, and I'm not sure what the hell happened to this thing, but that's definitely not how that's supposed to be. Okay, but tan is a large-scale bull flag rotation, so I think he's worth keeping on the radar. He reminds me of like ETH BTC at large resolutions, right? A lot of people don't pay attention to what this guy, geez. Never the right chart for that guy. Oh, is this still on? Whoops. Right? ETH BTC is just like that. He's just like 10. He's just a monster fucking bull flag rotation. That he kind of is waiting on to see if this structure can clearly break out of this trigger. Right? 10 is kind of like almost the same fucking deal, right? Alright, next one. Dow 100 did ZM. Somebody asked for Zoom Carnival Cruise Lines. That's funny. So this was our what do you call it again? Back in the day, we called it was our outdoor versus indoor plays. I had a word for it. Somebody remind me what it was. Where's our basket to kind of capture, Kathy Woods, and she was right when she was big on Zoom before COVID. Actually post COVID. But once people went back outdoors again, right, she stayed in the same idea and she got murdered. So this was the relationship between the antisocial versus social, is what we called it. So right now, looking at it right now, CCL got murdered. You guys saw that themselves. CCL just went off a fucking bridge. So Zoom CCL right now has that tailwind. We probably could actually pair with something else to get a better read because CCL's got his own problems. It's not that Zoom's doing fantastic either. He's just doing better than they are. So I think you're looking at this, a typical crash cycle. CCL might go out of business and might, leave Zoom the lone standing wolf. But I think for right now, you're just watching this guy kind of bleed out his cycle down. I'd watch that. If he's going to do anything but, head lower from this point, you could watch, that has some promise, and he has the potential of this being a higher floor for him to go and do a thing like that. But if he stays under here, he's, terminal. TSCO, IIPR, TSCO, Tractor Supply. So, Tractor Supply Company is kind of in a basket of stuff that we had looked at in the food and agricultural. These guys have all been under pressure right now. Also, and likely larger corrective structures relating to like this scale of bull flag. Tractor Supply, we looked at in that world. He's and we look at a structure like this. This isn't really good to see congestion, like this kind of rotation you see, but it's still overall macro bullish. So however deep he manages to correct off of this, he's worth paying attention to when he does manage to structure out properly. This could structure out with risk assets and totally bomb out and make a much deeper dive from where he's sitting like this. I don't really have an angle yet to do anything but that with. But I don't like a major de-risking. He could very much, make a new low and then make a bull flag like that. I think that's kind of more possible. Let me take this and turn that off. So I think a leg down and then turning into a deeper bull flag is possible. Probably stabilizing on like that level there. Something like that. I don't know. Let's see. And then what was the last one? IIPR. Oh, wait, I remember. IIPR. Oh, yeah, weed. We're supposed to take a look at weed. So that got murdered. CGC. Let's see what some of these guys look like. Wow. Okay. Never made it. So we had the arrow from here. So he's dead. So, boy, this just look terrible in general. Just nothing for nothing. This just don't look fucking good. I had a marijuana list. Where are you guys at? Oh, what did I call it? 420? So this is MJ post Biden, and boy, does that look fucking awful. So yeah, if you told me a chart like this to look up, I'd tell you it looks like shit and walk away. So we're gonna do the same thing. Fuck marijuana right now. Smoke it if you got it. So that was IIPR. Doesn't look so great in that world. And as a REIT goes, even he's under crazy pressure. These businesses never make money. They're not gonna pay his ass rent. So this doesn't look structurally very good where he is. This was like, a bull flag structure he's landed in right now, and you'd say like, well, this is like the base of it. That's the worst case. He's probably at least due for a bounce somewhere in here. Even if he comes down and tests it, he's probably due for a bounce off of that. So that's a projection for him right now, but this looks fucking hideous. And it's 921, motherfuckers. Who's the last symbol? I won't screw you over. ZEC. Binance. I don't know where I've ever had this thing. Is that the longest chart I've got? I think I've done Zcash somewhere else. Zcash. No, I don't have it there either. Alright, well, what I just said about marijuana, this looks like shit. Zcash is the dream of dreams for fucking the dark market that never happened, right? XMR really got that crown. I think this guy looks like ass pretty much for life. And it's, if he managed to ever get out of this, so be it. But I think this is just a trend for him to fucking eat it and continue doing what he's doing and just bleed away. I don't see this as a likely spot for him to really blow out. If anybody's got the market for dark, it's XMR BTC. Definitely a much more bullish structure than the fuck you're seeing there. You know, he at least sustains this shit down here. I think that's bullish for XMR, but not Zcash. That thing's garbage. All right, motherfuckers, that was a lot. Got it in there. Don't leave your fate to the markets, right? Take your life into your own hands. Pay attention, be observant, don't be sheep. Catch you on the flip. Peace.
Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream